Leonard and Will Howard took a very similar path to the national championship matchup. There are several parallels in the Notre Dame and Ohio State matchup in the national championship. Both teams have a third-year defensive coordinator. Both teams have proven first-year offensive coordinators. Both teams have had issues keeping their offensive line healthy. And both teams took transfer portal quarterbacks after the 2023 season. In a time where the transfer portal has been a controversial topic in college football, Ohio State and Notre Dame are two programs who many believe have gotten it right. Even the two quarterbacks have similarities. Both players were three-star recruits coming out of high school and went to play Division I football at lower-tiered programs at Duke and Kansas State. The Buckeyes and Irish coaching staff believe these two young men were the key to getting their teams over the hump and back in contention to compete for a national title, which has remained true up to this point. Monday night, we find out which transfer portal quarterback is ready for their moment and leaves the field crowned a national champion. Will Howard, a Kansas State transfer. Once it was announced Ohio State would be searching for a quarterback in the portal, 2023 starter Kyle McCord entered his own name into the transfer portal. On January 4, 2024, the Buckeyes found their next man under center in Kansas State quarterback Will Howard. Howard spent his first 4 years in college with the Wildcats, where he played and started routinely for 4 years. Once true freshman Avery Johnson started earning more playing time for Kansas State, Howard entered the portal. He had a good final year, but there was more to be desired, and he felt like he was destined for more. When he arrived in Columbus, the expectations were already at an all-time high, and considering the coaching additions on offense, the players electing to return, and the players added through high school recruiting and the portal, Ohio State once again found themselves in the mix of being title-contending favorites. Similar to Notre Dame's quarterback, Howard had his ups and downs throughout the season, where many questioned his ability to perform in big games. That chatter got extremely loud after their fourth straight loss to Michigan, when Howard had his worst game of the season. Once the playoffs started, however, the narrative began to change, and before you knew it, the Buckeyes had won 3 straight playoff games, all by double digits, and are now playing for a national championship. Sam Hartman finished out his final season of eligibility in South Bend in 2023. Once he left, there were question marks surrounding who would lead the Irish under center in 2024. Head coach Marcus Freeman made it clear that if they were to take a portal quarterback, it would have to be someone who was a needle mover, a proven winner, and someone who upgraded the quarterback room as a whole. On December 12, 2023, Riley Leonard committed to Notre Dame. The Irish squared off against Leonard earlier that season when they traveled to Durham, North Carolina to play Duke after their devastating home loss to the Buckeyes. Leonard was an interesting pickup, and he was not able to finish the 2023 season due to injuries sustained against Notre Dame and Louisville, but his big win in 2023 against Clemson and his production in 2022 solidified their decision to get the Duke transfer. Leonard witnessed firsthand the highs and lows of being the Notre Dame starting quarterback after beating Texas A&M in College Station Week 1, then losing to Northern Illinois at home within 7 days of each other. His early season struggles also questioned his ability to lead this team to a championship appearance, and the journey was anything but smooth. However, as the season progressed, Freeman and company knew they had their guy. After 13 consecutive wins and 2 NY6 Bowl wins later, Notre Dame is playing for their first national championship since 2012. Leonard has been a proven winner this season, and that was on full display in the Sugar Bowl and the Orange Bowl. Statistically, he's had an interesting season, and his improvement has not been as apparent as his counterpart in scarlet and grey, but his output is still noteworthy. Leonard and Howard might not be facing off against each other directly on the football field, but their matchup is one that is at the forefront of this game. It's almost poetic that two quarterbacks national pundits had written off at various points throughout the season now have the opportunity to do their part in bringing home a national title for their respective programs.